Good evening and welcome back to Football Manager 2024. We're back with Season 8. Here we go. Here we go. There's been, I've done a lot of episodes of Football Manager, but I'm probably the most excited about starting up with Season 8 here. And the reason for that is that I've done an absolute deep dive. I've done a load of research. I've done a load of kind of Googling and watching YouTube videos and kind of figuring stuff out that I want to implement into the game. And this episode, we're just going to do a pretty chill episode. It's actually only going to be 2 games, London Samurai, London Cranes. Actually, I might just do 1 game. No, I'll do 1 game. It'll just be London Samurai because I plan on doing a bit of a long chat before we get into that first game. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my notes. So, I've got a load of notes. So, between seasons, I did try and make a good amount of signings. And if you take a quick look at the squad, you can see the amount of signings I've actually made. I've made a mountain signings. We've got a big squad here. In fact, we've got a massive squad, and I'm still looking at other players to bring in to the squad, which is, well, quite interesting, you would say. But I'm just looking at basically really overloading the squad with as many players as possible, and then picking the absolute best players, putting them in into the team and putting them in and stuff like that. So the first thing I started doing is I started making signings based on the composure stat for certain positions, but then I kind of went a little bit deeper with that. So that's not really the most important part of this recap between seasons. The next thing I did is that we did actually lose a few players. So I'm going to take you to the transfer history tab, and we did lose a few players. We've lost 4 players, which I'm actually a little bit kind of mad about. I can't sign them back because they've only just left us. Dan Lowther is another one. Go for a contract offer, but I can't, because the player is on 2.2k. Like, I can't afford to bring him in. Stepney Stringer as well. We lost him as well, but again, he's on 725 a month. He's just a bit too expensive for us. So, like, we were able to find some players, but Zico Creeth is another one that's gone, and I feel real bad about losing Zico Creeth. Like, he was a top player, still so young, definitely had opportunities to try and train him up. And he's gone to Dove Holes, which, would you believe it, is also where Da Costa went. I can't actually see Da Costa, so let me just do a search for Da Costa. There he is. No, yeah, he's still there, actually. He's still there at Dove Holes. You take a look at his career stats. He was with us for plenty of seasons, went to Ulverston and then moved to Dove Holes as well. So, but didn't really play that many games last season. It would be real good if we could get some of these players back that were with us in the first couple of seasons. But it's really interesting that this player, he's gone to another club. That, look at the senior squad here. There's Da Costa. He's on the bench. That's why I couldn't spot him. And then Zico Creeth is down there as well. Like, it's so annoying that 2 of my midfielders have ended up at the same club together. That I can't actually get them back or anything. But that's okay. I scheduled a load of friendlies, so let me quickly run you through the schedule. We played loads of them. Played, how many is that? 9 or 10 friendlies. Won 5, drew 3, only lost 2. But 2 of those losses weren't the best, really. And obviously, I lost Everest after this game when he had scored 1 for us. But the reason that we kind of have an up and down preseason is mostly down to the tactics, and I was working them out, and I will go into that next. So I've got my notes here. After 2 friendlies, I noticed we were dominating possession, but still struggling to create a lot of chances. And for example, if we look at that game, we did win that one 2-0. But then these games here, I think it was a 0-0 where we just didn't create that many chances. 10 of which only 1 on target. It's not really enough. But look at the 2-2 as well. 8, 5 on target. They created 16 to my 5. So you can see the tactics I was changing up. More or less every game I tried to play a bit central. That's when I had Zico Creeth with us. And again, 7 and 2, just not creating a lot of chances. And again, so what I did is I told the 2 cams to roam to positions to see if that might help. See if that could like float them into a little bit of space. That didn't really do much. We did have good possession, didn't turn it into chances. So we switched up to 2 strikers up top, more attack, moved the cams out wide to create more space. And in that game, I think it was against Bagshot potentially. No, it must have been against Aveley. It was against Aveley. That's when I made that change. And we went from 2-0 down to 2-2 in the second half. So that did work. I decided to keep those tactics for the next game, and it didn't work. We got beaten with high possession. Again, take a look at the stats here. High possession, 63. Shots about the same. On target, about the same. We just didn't have the answers here. So you can see I did change up the tactics. I've been swapping players in and out and trying to make sure I kind of give everyone a chance. So what do we do from there? I did a bit of a to-do list for myself. I put set piece training on. I put individual training on. And I created the new tactic. So next page on the notes. Friendly number 5 was against Bagshot. And I played a load of trialists in this game. If I quickly show you the team I played. There was a lot of people who, for example, Okonkwo, who's actually a free agent that I want to bring in, but I need to check his numbers. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a little bit. We were 2-1 up at half-time with 60% possession, and then somehow it dropped back to 2-0 in that game against Bagshot, where we were winning 2-0. We were actually dominating the early stages. Could have been 3-0. And then they pulled it back. They claimed it back, which is good on them. So what I did was at 70 minutes, I simplified the tactics, but we were under the pump. We were struggling quite a bit. So what I did was I was like, do we go for a tactical reset? What do we do? What I decided to do for the next friendly was go direct, and it did not work. I tried to play direct, it did not work. So I think on this game, the possession was slightly more even. In fact, it wasn't. It was way, way, way more in their favor. And our tactics, I mean, look at that. That's awful. 3 shots, only 2 on target. Our XG is absolutely tanked. Not good at all. And then I decided, okay, after seeing that, we've got to change things up. So I played 4 more friendlies. I arranged 4 more, and I played all of them with the simplified tactics. Would you believe we won? We won all of them. And I've also scheduled friendlies throughout the season. I think that's 6 friendlies, 7 friendlies on weeks. It's all on Wednesdays or Saturdays, really. But on weeks where there is no match, so that my players can keep their sharpness up. It is something I was doing in the previous seasons, but as we got higher up the divisions, I assumed there would be less weeks where this was possible. But it's not really the case. So we're going to have some friendlies throughout the season, but I probably won't show them on camera. They will just be, I'll just play them behind the scenes, or maybe even to tell the assistant manager to play them, and I'll just see the results. And it's mostly about fitness. It's not about results. It's just fitness. Righto. So with the simplified tactics, what am I talking about when I say that? Well, these are the tactics I'm going with. A 4-1-2-1-2. Now, if I go back to the transfers, I want to quickly show you the transfer history. This is how many players we brought in, and the biggest signing out of all of those is Harry Crane. I brought him back. So we lost him 2 seasons ago to Hawley Town. In fact, 1 season ago, really. He played a lot of games, never really contributed. But I've brought him back because his numbers are off the charts. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let me get into it. So what I did was I went and created a page on my notes that says the London Green mindset, the London Greens mindset, which are what are the most important stats per position for the tactics that we are playing, excluding pace and acceleration, because you kind of want them everywhere, really. And what is the goal of our tactics? Well, the goal is high possession, because the more you have the ball, the more you potentially move the ball into dangerous areas, the more chances you should create. Lots of shots and lots of passes, and the tactic I settled for was this 4-1-2-1-2. Then I did a huge deep dive. I mean, I can show you the notes here of each position. You can't really see that. You can kind of see that. It's very bright. There we go. That's better. No, yeah. There we go. That's better. You can see each individual position has the stats that I believe are going to be best for it. And using that, I then created like a number matrix, like an index for the players of each position. For example, if I look at my centre backs, I've got the best 2 centre backs I think are Probets and Larson. They scored 133 and 128 on the matrix. Alex Tuckey scored 136, which is kind of crazy because he's not actually a centre back. But the reason he doesn't just instantly get picked because his jumping reach is really quite low. It's not the best. So if I did train him on that, he would become like a pretty dangerous a pretty dangerous player. But what I've decided to do is actually keep him as a DM, and I'm trying to train up his agility and his balance. Each of these views that I've got going on here is now specialized as well to each of the stats, each of the positions and stuff like that. So when I click on Alex Tucky, wherever he is, there he is, you can see the lowest stats there are pace and acceleration. They're not so important for my DM, but the really important one is passing and first touch for me, because he's going to be under a decent amount of pressure. That's why I've got David Easthope in there starting, a new player. I don't think he's actually played for us yet, but a new player who's been around a good amount. He's played a lot of games in and around. Looks like he's gone to Wales a little bit. Didn't actually play. No, he played 4 games in the Premier of Wales. That's pretty good. See that? Look at that. TNS getting loads of wins. That's pretty accurate. I mean, they were playing in Europe not very long ago, and they probably still are this season, actually. And so I brought him in for his numbers, basically. This is what I mean by the numbers. So I went through each position. I've got pages on pages of notes here of each position. And like, whenever I look for a signing, I'm going to compare them to the numbers and see if the numbers agree, basically. So if I take you to the starting lineup, it's a somewhat different starting lineup than you probably expect. We've got Hopper, Larson, Probets, Duncan, Morris as our defensive group. Easthope just in front. The wingers are Papakostas and Crane. And this is an interesting part where I do believe if we are owning the ball in the game, they can go forward. And maybe we need a goal, I'll put them forward. If we don't need a goal so much, we'll bring them back a little bit. I'm actually going to rename this tactic. I'm going to call it control possession, because that is my go-to tactic. And there we go. So if I now manage tactics, should be this should be control possession, right? It is. There we go. Awesome. So this is my go-to tactic. When we have the ball, maybe we can move them forward and go on a few more attacks. Crane and Papakostas have the numbers for it. Papakostas is an interesting one because we've had him for a little bit, but he hasn't played that many games. He only played 5 games for us last season. So we're going to see if we can do a little bit better for him this season. And now I probably just need an out-and-out striker on the bench. Now, if I go to the numbers, who was the next best striker? The first 2 I chose were Mohamed and Talmash. Talmash had 192. Mohamed had 161. The next best was Poggio. Lyons actually on 145. Poggio has 142. So I'm going to put Lyons on the bench as the last bench warm-up. Although he's only 16, so is there any need for that? Maybe I'll put... How old is Poggio? 23, yeah. Poggio goes on the bench. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get a load of the players who are youngsters and put them into the under-18s. Which is mostly strikers. Why is it being weird? It's not letting me just select. There we go. It's being a bit weird there. Let me go across to see if this will be a bit weird. No, okay, whatever. Okay, that's sorted in the wrong thing now. I need to go by that. Yeah, there we go. And now, oh, not Crosby. 18 years old and less. I'll move them in, except, I mean, Braithwaite's in there because he covers so many positions. Like, that's why he's in there. But Holloway, Papakostas, we've got some youngsters in the starting lineup now. Going to move these guys across to the under-18 squad so they'll be able to train up, hopefully improve their numbers, all of that good stuff. And we're going to go straight into first game. Everything is ready. We are on the back of a good number of friendly wins. Now it's whether or not we can do it in the competitive sphere, the competitive arena. So, starting him is a mistake. Wow, that's a interesting one. We haven't had a friendly in like a week or so. So like not that tired. But here we go, first game of the season. Let's see how we do. Let me quickly pause and go back to the extended highlights and press play. Awesome. So London Samurai first up. I don't actually believe we've ever lost to them. But let's hope that we can keep that good run going. We've got a slightly new look team, slightly new look tactic. We want to see how we go. We want to try and control possession, try and get a good number of attacks going. Early doors here, only 4 minutes in. The possession is in their favour, but we've already got a corner. East Hope is going to whip this one in. I don't mind having the DM take the corner. That's okay. We're aiming at the near post. I actually didn't take you to the set piece routines that I've created, so maybe I will. 1 second. Training. Oh no, it's in tactics. There we go. Set pieces. I have created the set pieces a little bit better, like a little bit more specific to what I want to do, and with the help of the assistant manager. And okay, there we go. 60%. Another chance here. Another corner. We're whipping them in towards the near post and sending our big jumpers, which are Larson and Proberts, to try and get there. There we go. Exactly what I was talking about. Larson jumps away, celebrates 1-0. Hopefully this season, we're going to see a kind of evolution to our play. I've done the deep dive that I have done in previous seasons, like as I was working stuff out, trying to improve at the game. And the only way you learn, really, by playing. So that's what we're doing. We're going to go into another season. Hopefully we're going to have a good season. We're going to try and dominate the league. I mean, I'm looking forward to this league. I reckon after having such a good opportunity last season to go and get promoted and kind of failing to, hopefully this season we'll be able to. Harry Crane on the ball, goes back to Duncan. Whips the ball in towards Mohammed, who can't quite get there. And it looks like they might clear it away. They have, in fact. Weir goes out to Callahan, who goes forward. Gets shoved back by the wing back. That's all good. I don't mind that at all. And I like the fact that there we go. We make them go long and we take the ball back. Duncan goes back to Morris. And this isn't to say that these players will be I mean, that's a bad pass. Exclusively be the first team. Like, that's not going to be the case. Like, if someone has got a really bad match rating or they're out of form or they're struggling, yeah, I'm going to get them off. I'm going to take them off and we're going to try and, I don't know, try different things, try a different player in there. I'm training individuals to try and get their numbers up on the matrix. Like, I'm trying to get their numbers to make it so that I've got more and more and more players who are just competing for that first team spot. And if we do lose a player, like there is a quite a high likelihood that we lose a player that's in the first team and we have to fill them in. We have to put in a different player, like replace them. And so I'm kind of a little bit sad about that, but that is the nature of the game, I suppose. So there's not really much to be worrying about. We've just got to keep trying to play our best football and try and win games. East Hope whips that one in. Talmash is going to get there. Talmash, who I think is making his debut. In fact, I think a lot of players are making their debut. Larson at the back post nods it over. I think that was a good chance. We're 0.58 on the XG. Good on possession. Again, we're at 60% and we're creating corners. Hopper's taking the left-hand side corners. Going to the front post. Can't win that header. Weir's going to clear it. Hopper's going to reclaim it. Now, Hopper, I do think, played a couple of games for us last season. So he's not like completely brand new. East Hope goes over the top and doesn't do much with that. Now, the individual tactics, I've kept it relatively simple. You can see like not too many instructions for these players. Like, I just want them to go out there and kind of play regular football, decent football. The main idea is to keep possession and create chances. That's it. I don't really have too much of a focus on defense. Really, I have got the best defenders in my opinion. And there we go, another header. This time it's Mohammed getting on the end of the cross. What a move. Everything to Duncan's assist. And that's 2 goals from headers this season. And we don't score mountains of headers, I'll be honest. Oh, there's another chance. Hopper on the ball is going to throw this one in. Into East Hope, who whips it towards the back post. Crane tries to get there, can't quite. The header is good from the Samurai defender. Duncan whips it to Papakostas, who can't quite jump. It's going to get cleared out. Oh, that's a mistake. Papakostas, whip it in. Whip it in. Oh, it's a penalty. Dean Skipper has awarded the penalty. Papakostas, good running. And who's going to take it? Going to be East Hope. Okay. Well, he's on a 7.1. We've got a good couple of numbers here, and that is... Oh, it's saved. Oh, that's rough. That's rough indeed. Could have been 3-0 up in 30 minutes in the first game of a new season. Oh, it would have been nice. It would have been nice. I'm going to play for set pieces because it does seem to be working. It does seem to be working. Like, we are creating chances, we're whipping in corners, getting on the end of the headers, and everything does seem to be going quite well so far. Go more or less exactly how the friendlies were going. I was watching the friendlies without the highlights. I just wanted to see, is this tactic going to work for 90 minutes, more or less. And we won four games in a row, so that definitely, you could say it was working. Look at that. Our focus on attacking set pieces has really paid off. It really has. The fact that we've almost had... we're just generating chances. We're keeping possession and we're generating chances. And this is what I'm here for. So that's what we want to be doing. We're 2-0 up. And there's no reason to change anything. Like, their XG is pretty low compared to ours. And I just want us to keep playing well. Kalmash, over the top, well defended from the Samurai defenders. And that will be cleared out. I mean, look, their XG is 0.38. Like, we are absolutely all over them at the minute. Papakostas, where are you going to go? Goes back to Hopper, goes into East Hope. Over the top. No, yes, he does. Whip it in or shoot yourself. Oh, it's like he did a bit of both. He did a bit of both, and I feel like he either smashes it to the near post or passes it across. He didn't do either. East Hope, whip it in. Who's going to get there? No one. Again, we're aiming for the near post, so sometimes the corners are going to do that. Holloway goes back. Holloway's playing in as a cam, just a regular cam. Good vision, I believe, on Holloway. If I quickly... actually, let me quickly check that stat. So, central midfielders, sort it by vision. East Hope's got really good vision at 9. And... Holloway's there. Oh, I need to make it specific, actually, to attacking midfielders. And then sorted by vision. So, a lot of players on trial. Gilbert's there as well with a good 7. 7's the best of the bunch there. Isn't great, but that is why we're looking at some of these other players, trying to get the vision up for these players. If we do make a couple of signings, believe me, it will be done mostly by numbers. It will be done by numbers. Okay, 55 minutes now. Not just because the numbers are, in my opinion, it's a numbers-based game. I am going to play on emotion as well. Like, if I fully believe, I don't know, a young striker deserves his shot, I'm going to give him a go. But I am going to focus on the numbers a lot. Okay, Harry Crane looks like he's given everything. I'll sort it out after this highlight. Mohamed jumps and it's well saved. Okay, I'll sort it out. Who's going to go on the right-hand side? See, I don't really have much covers on the wings. East Hope can go out there, to which Tucky can go in, I suppose. Not the ideal situation. I wish we had more substitutions available to us in these games, but we don't. We only have 5, and it's really difficult to try and cover all of the bases. Like, I need to basically get a midfielder that can do attack. Oh, okay, that's gone past. We need a striker and a cam. Potentially that'd be both, Sunderman. We need a winger that can go both sides. We need a defender that can cover the back, which we've got in Brathwaite. And then you obviously got a goalie, and that leaves you with one more. Probably your DM, who, if he is versatile, could also play in multiple positions as well. But that's kind of near. I don't know. We do need a winger. We need to look at that. We need to find a winger. Hopper whips it towards the back post. Larson jumps and it's well saved. Good save. But we are creating so many more chances in this game. This is the first team. This is the team I want to be playing. It's going well. Again, the corner gets cleared out from the front post, but that's not a problem. East Hope goes to Duncan, who's going to look for a pass. Goes to Larson, who looks for a pass. Proberts and the defenders, look at that. They're playing so high up the pitch, but they're still able to control the passing. Really good. Proberts back to Duncan, back to Proberts. And that is the end of the highlight. Okay. Proberts can come off for Brathwaite. That's okay. We've got 20 minutes to go. One substitution left. And I do want to make subs and stuff like that. I'm not just going to tell the starting 11 to only be the only 11 that play. You got to use your subs. There we go. Okay, that was a shot off target from Holloway, but it wasn't a bad effort. And that is 20 shots created in this game. 20 chances, 9 of which were on target. Let's get one more shot on target. That would be so awesome, and just control this game. Like, we're playing it quite simple. We're just trying to improve the squad as we go. And look at that. Oh, wow. Morris dropped the ball. Saying East Hope missed it. I feel like Morris dropped it. Let me watch that again. Is it not? I feel like Morris dropped the ball. But that's not actually what the game was saying. It was saying East Hope made a mistake, but I'm not sure about that. Oh well, either way, we shouldn't let it ruin what has been a really, really good performance so far. I mean, I would love the clean sheet, but losing the clean sheet isn't the worst thing if we still win the game, because it means that we don't have to pay out on the clean sheet bonus, which is such a cynical money bottom line way to think about things, but it is what it is. Okay, Larson just nods it back to the goalie. That's fine. And we are playing out from the back. We've still got that tactic going. Let me actually show you the instructions I've got going. This is it. This is all I've got. Work the ball into box, pass in space, low crosses, play out of defense, play wide. Everything else is on standard, really. And we look at the other segments of that. Hold shape and regroup. Distribute to centre backs. Take short kicks. Out of possession, it's just mid block, standard line. Stay on your feet. Stop the short and stop the crosses. That's it. It's a really relatively simple set of instructions, in my opinion. It's basically just play to your strengths. And that's a great block from Brathwaite. What a block that is. Very useful. Let's not throw away 3 points here today. Please. Good ball in. Weir is there. And it's a great save. It's a great save from Morris. That is at the moment, that has kept us with 3 points, and there's only 2 minutes left to go. And to be fair, we deserve the win. Like, look at those stats. Look at those chances, those shots on target. We deserve the win. Do not throw it away. One more attack for the Samurais. They whip it across to I was going to say Duncan Weir, because I'm thinking about Weir, the rugby player. I don't know, he might be called Duncan, I don't know. But Weir crosses it in. Larson gets up and nods it away. Brathwaite's going to chase it. It's going to go out. I mean, time's up, ref. It's blocked in. Oh, my word. Weir's on the ball. He goes all the way back. Why would you go back there? Flanagan, why would you go back there? Shoot. You've got to shoot. We take the win. Come on. We take the win. Pretty good performance. A lot of 3 players getting 7s is quite nice. 6.4 for Hopper. Not the best. Not the best. So maybe we'll try a different left back next time out. That's all we'll do. That was a good start to the season. A lovely 2-1 win away from home, and I'm really quite happy about that one. Last season, I kind of decided on a 1 home game and however many games were in between that. I'm not sure that's what I'll do this season. I'm probably just going to play it by ear, but every game will be live, because I do genuinely want to just show every game and show you the journey that we take. Wow, 5 players in that starting lineup made debuts. 5 players. I mean, it kind of shows you, like, the title of the first episode of last season was, this is a start of a new era. I think that would be more accurate for this season. It's like a tactical reset. A squad reset. The depth is so much bigger. Like, we've got this, like, I've got the numbers that I'm using to judge whether or not I want to use a player and stuff like that. So it's really, really interesting. I don't know what the title of this video will be, but probably just be like, this starts now. Like, London Green starts now. You know what I mean? Anyway, that'll be it. Let's take a look at the table. We're probably just going to be we're in 3rd, I think. 4th, actually. We're in 4th, but a lot of teams got wins on that first day. A lot of teams actually lost as well, but that's okay. The teams, we can't really judge it after 1, to be honest. Elmstead were at the top last season. They did well. So we did well last season for the most part. Peckham Town are back. We played them seasons before. London Cranes and Camden. Again, it's mostly the same teams kind of looking at the top here. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Let's check the inbox. Financial updates. We lost a little bit of money. Most of that's on the transfer. Yeah, it's all the transfer, really. So if you take that transfer off, it's basically nothing. Important dates. Well, we know the important dates. It's the games. And we've offered a contract to Matt Neary, who's another striker. And that will be it from me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I do hope you enjoyed Season 8, Episode 1. We are back. We are back with more Football Manager. I do hope you've enjoyed. I shall catch you next time.